Oh God, when everything is spiraling out of control, when only 10 people have turned up to your key speech, when you decide to accidentally post pictures, look at this, of your husband having an argument with the nanny on your wedding day, then what more is there to do than yet another disastrous advertising post making zero sense, but showing that you are these days pretty damn crazy.
The amount of photos that she put just made her really look like kind of an insane narcissist. There were a lot of just her. And that one photo that you were just talking about is such a bad mistake. Well, it's interesting because you would have thought that somebody who had been there on that day, Serena, Oprah, the Clooneys, Priyanka Chopra.
Yes, she's another one.
Even Elton John, who she actually put a picture of him up. The only celebrity that she put a picture of, because of course she wants to tie herself again to Diana. None of them said, what a great day, or wow, what a magical wedding, or I still think about it. No one said anything. And it is just getting quite sad. And again, you kind of are like, oh, girl, knock it off. Like, it's getting very cringy.
I think it's really interesting because she's showing all of the celebrity friends, right, who usually, and she proves it, post tributes all the time to other celebrities, right? Like they Oprah or Gayle King. Look at all of the people who they love celebrating, love talking about their big moment. I know it's difficult to be shocked by how low Meghan will go, but I was still shocked by the merching of the wedding for a candle. Honestly, I was. Because, the difference with this, Paula, is that at least with the children, I guess you can say, well, it's up to them now what they do. I mean, this was a wedding paid for by us, the British taxpayer, and paid for by the British royal family. And merching the wedding, to me, I always knew that'd go there eventually. I'm shocked that I've done it so early.
Happy anniversary to you.
And Papa. I love you.
Blow them.
No.
Blow them.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Open.
This is when Mama and Papa, when we got engaged, we had a party with all of our friends and we said everyone we were an animal onesie and we were penguins. We were penguins because they're together for life.
What if the most surprising thing about Meghan Markle's anniversary post wasn't what she shared, but who never appeared at all? Because according to discussions online, people weren't counting kisses. They weren't counting dresses. They weren't even counting Prince Harry. They were counting faces. And according to many viewers online, one number started getting repeated everywhere. 24 photographs. One celebrity. Almost no family. Then critics online started asking a question that sounds brutal once you hear it. How do you celebrate your royal wedding without showing the people who made the royal wedding possible? Because according to commentary discussed in the uploaded material, Meghan's anniversary carousel became less about romance and more about curation. Who appeared? Who didn't? Who was remembered? Who disappeared? And according to many viewers online, that's where the story changed. Not because people thought the photos were fake. Not because the anniversary itself was unusual. Because people started treating the carousel like a statement. That became the controversy. Now importantly, people choose photos for personal reasons all the time. Not including someone in a public post does not prove conflict, distance, or intent. That context matters. But according to critics online, once you publicly publish a wedding album years later, people naturally start reading the choices. That's what happened here. Then another observation spread. According to discussions presented in the uploaded material, viewers started noticing something unexpected. The royal family barely appeared. Major guests barely appeared. Even Meghan's mother became a talking point. And critics online started asking, was this nostalgia? Or editing history? Then another uncomfortable theory appeared. Critics online started saying maybe anniversaries reveal something strange. Not what happened, but what people still want remembered. And according to many viewers online, That may be why one anniversary carousel suddenly became another debate about family, image, and who still belongs in Meghan's version of the story. According to many viewers online, this is where the conversation became more uncomfortable than people expected. Because critics online believe most people assumed the anniversary photos would spark debate about Harry, or William, or Catherine. Instead, according to discussions online, people kept returning to one name, Doria. Because according to commentary discussed in the uploaded material, viewers noticed that among the anniversary photographs being discussed publicly, Meghan's mother was not visible. That observation spread quickly, not because people believed she had to appear, but because according to critics online, people remembered how central Doria once seemed publicly. That became the conversation. Now importantly, not appearing in a public post does not mean conflict. People choose photos for hundreds of reasons. Privacy, preference, aesthetic choices. That context matters. But according to many viewers online, critics online argued something else. If this was presented as a memory collection, people naturally notice whose memories remain visible. That's where interpretation started. Then another observation spread. People started revisiting old public moments, wedding day clips, interviews, documentaries, earlier profiles. According to discussions online, critics pointed out that Doria had often been framed publicly as one of Meghan's closest relationships, which created another question. If she once represented stability, why does she feel absent now? Again, absence proves nothing. But according to many viewers online, critics online argued audiences don't interpret emotionally important moments like normal posts. People expect symbolism. That's what made this bigger. Then another uncomfortable theory appeared. Critics online started saying maybe the carousel wasn't actually trying to document the wedding. Maybe it was trying to document a feeling. Because according to discussions presented in the uploaded material, viewers started noticing something unusual. Many of the images emphasized Meghan herself. Solo moments, personal shots, private expressions, less group memory, more individual perspective. That observation spread fast. Supporters pushed back. They argued that's completely normal. People post the photos they personally love. Not every anniversary post becomes a historical archive. Fair. But critics online responded. Then why did people immediately notice who wasn't there? That became another major conversation. Then another realization spread. Critics online started saying something difficult. Sometimes what gets removed attracts more attention than what gets posted. And according to many viewers online, that may be why people ended up discussing Meghan's mother, instead of discussing Meghan's anniversary itself. According to many viewers online, this is where the discussion stopped being about missing people. Because critics online believe something else started standing out. Not who disappeared, but who stayed in almost every frame. According to discussions presented in the uploaded material, viewers repeatedly described the anniversary carousel as feeling unusually centered around Meghan herself. Solo moments, individual portraits, preparation shots, personal angles. And critics online started asking, was this a wedding album? Or a personal highlight reel? Now importantly, people are allowed to center themselves in their own anniversary post. That alone proves nothing. People choose emotional photos. People remember experiences differently. That context matters. But according to many viewers online, critics online argued something more symbolic. They said weddings usually create group memory, family, friends, shared moments. Whereas according to critics, this carousel felt much more individual. That observation spread quickly. Then another uncomfortable comparison appeared. People started comparing this anniversary post with earlier public messaging. According to discussions online, critics pointed out that Meghan has publicly spoken before about the wedding being overwhelming, public, and larger than life. Which made some viewers ask, if the day once represented entering something bigger, why does the anniversary version feel smaller and more personal? Then another observation exploded. Celebrity attendance. Because according to commentary discussed in the uploaded material, Viewers started noticing how few recognizable faces appeared despite the original wedding receiving massive public attention. That became another conversation. Not because celebrities owe public support, but because critics online argued the contrast felt noticeable. Big guest list. Small memory footprint. That's how they described it. Supporters pushed back. They argued people are overthinking normal behavior. Anniversary posts are not documentaries. Nobody owes equal screen time. Fair. But critics online responded. If the photos were random, why do they feel so carefully selected? That question kept spreading. Then another difficult theory appeared. Critics online started saying maybe the carousel wasn't trying to recreate the wedding. Maybe it was trying to rewrite what the wedding emotionally meant. Not joining the royal family, but a story about Meghan and Harry alone. Again, that remains interpretation, not fact. But according to many viewers online, critics online think that shift explains why people became more interested in the omissions than the images themselves. Then another uncomfortable realization spread. People started saying something brutal. Sometimes a photo album tells people less about the day, and more about the person choosing the photos years later. And according to many viewers online, that may be why the anniversary carousel became a debate about identity, instead of becoming a celebration of memory. According to many viewers online, this is where the conversation stopped being about photographs completely. Because critics online believe the real shock wasn't who got removed. It was how small the story suddenly felt. Because according to discussions presented in the uploaded material, people started comparing two completely different versions of the same event. Version 1. Global headlines. Royal crowds. Celebrity arrivals. Historic ceremony. International attention. Version 2. The anniversary carousel. More personal. More selective. More private. More focused inward. And according to many viewers online, critics online started asking, how does one of the biggest weddings in the world end up looking so small 8 years later? Now importantly, there is nothing unusual about people remembering private emotions more than public spectacle. Anniversary posts are not historical records. That context matters. But according to critics online, people thought something else was happening. Because according to discussions online, viewers started saying the post didn't feel like remembering the wedding. It felt like reclaiming ownership of it. That observation spread fast. Then another uncomfortable comparison appeared. People started revisiting public conversations from previous years. Interviews. Documentaries. Books. Public comments about privacy. Public comments about pressure. Public comments about feeling overwhelmed. According to critics online, the anniversary carousel seemed to present a different emotional tone entirely. Not trapped. Not pressured. Not overwhelmed. Instead, romantic. Nostalgic. Curated. That difference became another talking point. Then another observation exploded. People started talking about time. Because according to discussions in the uploaded material, critics online argued something difficult. Anniversary posts usually expand memory. They include children, friends, growth, change. But according to critics, this carousel felt like it kept returning to the exact same moment. The wedding. The beginning. The original image. That became symbolic. Supporters pushed back. They argued people celebrate milestones differently. Some people revisit the beginning because that's what anniversaries are for. Fair. But critics online responded. If your strongest memories are still from day one, what does that say about everything that came after? That question spread quickly. Then another difficult theory appeared. Critics online started saying maybe that's why people reacted emotionally. Not because they disliked the post, but because they expected something else. 8 years later, people expected evolution. Instead, according to critics, they got a return to the opening chapter. Then another uncomfortable realization spread. People started saying something harsh. When people stop showing where they are, sometimes they start showing where they wish they still were. Again, that remains interpretation, not fact. But according to many viewers online, Critics online think that may be why one anniversary carousel unexpectedly turned into a conversation about whether Meghan was celebrating the present or remembering the last moment everything still felt possible. According to many viewers online, this is where the discussion stopped being emotional and started becoming strategic. Because critics online believe once people finished counting family members, they started counting something else. Status. Who still appeared? Who didn't? And what that might mean publicly. According to discussions presented in the uploaded material, viewers started noticing that despite the scale of the original wedding guest list, the anniversary post being discussed publicly showed very few recognizable figures. That became symbolic. Now importantly, not featuring somebody publicly means nothing by itself. People protect relationships. People avoid posting others. People choose aesthetics over completeness. That context matters. But according to critics online, the choices still became part of the story. Because according to discussions online, people argued wedding albums become accidental maps, not of who attended, but of who still emotionally belongs. That observation spread quickly. Then another uncomfortable comparison appeared. People started revisiting the original wedding itself. Celebrity headlines. Public excitement. Massive attention. According to critics online, the anniversary version felt much quieter. Less crowd. Less institution. Less spectacle. More personal branding. That became another conversation. Then another observation exploded. People started discussing celebrity relationships. Again, public appearances do not define private friendships. That distinction matters. But according to commentary discussed in the uploaded material, critics online started asking something difficult. If people once represented a major chapter publicly, why do they feel absent now? That question spread. Supporters pushed back. They argued audiences confuse visibility with closeness. Not appearing publicly doesn't mean people disappeared. Fair. But critics online responded. Then why does the carousel feel so intentionally selective? That became another major debate. Then another difficult theory appeared. Critics online started saying maybe the anniversary wasn't designed to remember everybody. Maybe it was designed to simplify the story. Not a royal wedding. Not a family event. Not a global moment. But a love story between two people. Again, that remains interpretation, not fact. But according to many viewers online, critics online think that framing changes something important. Because once you remove institutions, remove guests, remove family, the only thing left is authorship. And whoever controls the memories, controls the meaning. Then another uncomfortable realization spread. People started saying something harsh. The longer time passes, the less wedding albums become records, and the more they become statements. And according to many viewers online, critics online think that may be why people weren't debating the photos anymore. They were debating what version of Meghan's story the photos were trying to preserve. According to many viewers online, this is where the conversation became less about weddings and more about something Harry and Meghan have talked about publicly for years. Privacy. Because critics online believe something unusual happened. The anniversary wasn't criticized for being private. It was criticized for feeling selective. And according to discussions presented in the uploaded material, that distinction became important. Because critics online started saying, there's a difference between protecting private moments and publishing private moments that support a particular version of events. Now importantly, sharing personal memories publicly does not contradict wanting privacy. People choose what parts of life to share all the time. That context matters. But according to many viewers online, critics online argued the issue wasn't sharing. It was repetition. Because according to discussions online, viewers started noticing something uncomfortable. Years later, the strongest public moments still seem tied to the wedding, the beginning, royal connections, historic images. That became symbolic. Then another observation spread. People started comparing two versions of the Sussex public story. Version 1. Leave the spotlight. Protect family. Control access. Version 2. Release curated moments directly. Publish selected memories. Tell the story personally. Supporters argued those things are completely compatible. Critics argued they feel contradictory. That became another major conversation. Then another difficult question appeared. If the wedding represented freedom, why keep returning to it? Because according to discussions presented in the uploaded material, critics online argued anniversaries usually celebrate where people are now. This one, according to critics, felt heavily attached to where everything started. That observation spread quickly. Then another uncomfortable realization appeared. People started saying something interesting. The internet no longer reacts to celebrity posts the way it used to. People don't just watch. They audit. They count. They compare. They ask, who's missing? Who stayed? What changed? That became the environment this post entered. Supporters pushed back. They argued audiences increasingly expect hidden meanings in normal content. That's fair. But critics online responded. If there's no meaning, why did people spend more time discussing omissions than celebrating the anniversary? That question kept returning. Then came the hardest interpretation of all. Critics online started saying maybe the carousel accidentally revealed something nobody expected. Not conflict. Not rejection. Not family drama. But nostalgia. Because according to many viewers online, critics online think people weren't reacting to missing faces. They were reacting to the feeling that this anniversary looked less like a celebration of today, and more like a reminder of the last moment the Sussex story still felt brand new. At this point, the internet is completely divided over Meghan, the anniversary carousel, the missing faces, and whether people are witnessing intentional storytelling or simply projecting too much onto a personal post. Some people believe this entire reaction is unfair. It was an anniversary, a photo dump, a memory collection, not a historical archive. Nobody is obligated to include every guest, every family member, or every chapter of their life publicly. That's one side. Others believe something different. According to many viewers online, critics online argue once a public figure carefully curates memories, the choices themselves become part of the message. And honestly, that's why this spread. Because according to discussions presented in the uploaded material, this stopped being about 24 photographs. It became about what people think photographs mean. Then there's the Doria question. Do you think people are reading far too much into who appeared and who didn't? Or do you think family absences naturally become noticeable in anniversary posts? Then there's the royal question. Do you think leaving the royal family out makes sense because that chapter ended? Or do you think removing the institution that created the wedding changes how people remember it? Then there's the privacy question. Do you think Harry and Meghan simply want more control over their own story? Or do you think repeated returns to private memories create mixed signals publicly? And then there's the biggest question of all. What does an anniversary actually celebrate? The day itself? Or the version of that day people still want to believe in years later? Drop your thoughts in the comments because audiences online are completely split on this story right now. And if you want more deep breakdowns on royal drama, celebrity controversies, media narratives, internet culture, and the stories people cannot stop debating online, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because according to many viewers online, the biggest surprise wasn't who Meghan removed from the carousel. It was realizing that 8 years later, people were still trying to figure out which parts of that wedding story she once remembered most.